Okay, we'll start a new section. As I said before, we've done the prerequisites. There's a lot more of this stuff to do, but we're at a stage now where we can go into using it in real life situations. The worst thing, first of all, the worst thing you can do is to spar. If you learn sparring, that's all you do, spar. You don't fight. You don't do self-defense, sparring. Nothing to do with self-defense. If you want to go into tournaments, that's fine, but don't think it's self-defense. I've seen that some of the karate champions of the world champion karate man, as Clayton will tell you, lifted up and thrown onto his side on the ground twice in succession. And in between the first and the second one, it was the classic saying, "Do that again." Okay. Because this man was fantastic at tournament fighting, and he was a world champion, using axe kicks and all this sort of stuff. As soon as he gets into a realistic situation, he can't handle it, you see, because he's learned how to spar and go into a ring. In the street, your attacker's not wary of you. In the ring, the first thing is, or in sparring situation, if I say, "Oh, let you and me spar," we're wary of each other. It's like a boxing match, you see. In the street, he doesn't give a rat's bum who you are, you know. Fuck you, bang. He doesn't care who you are. He just rushes at you, and that's what happens in the street. Someone's just going to rush at you. First thing I'll teach you is not to fight. Allow all your training to come to the fore and let it happen subconsciously. We have certain training things, like we do things that look like sparring, but they're not. They're what we call attack defense, whereby someone, mainly the instructor, puts on all this protective gear, the bogu and the thing and all this stuff. And he tells the student, "I'm going to hit you if you don't defend yourself." You know? It's got to, you know, the instructor has to know that that student is capable of doing it. But when I had it first happen to me, it put the fear of God into me. I thought, "What? Oh, shit!" You know? And it's the worst feeling. I thought, "Whoa, shit, he's going to fucking hit me." So you're forced to defend yourself. And that's what happens in the street, you see. It's an aggressive situation, maybe a bigger person than you is going to attack you. That's the same situation as we do, but it's still without anyone really getting hurt, you know. I have punched a few people, but after that they really know that their pung, for instance, is not strong, you know, or they're doing something wrong. So that's all we do. We just do attack defense, like as if some brute in the street is attacking you. And it's always just in the street, it's always just it's always that sort of thing, or it's always just a bang, that sort of thing, the old roundhouse punch. I don't think I've ever seen in the street, I've never seen that happen in the street ever, you know. If that happened in the street, I'd be flat on my ass for trying to put a kick up there in the street. So it's in an instant, the street fighter will be there on you. And you've got to know how to handle that sort of a situation. And that's all you've got to know. Take him out. And that's what we've been working on all down through these classes, is to show you that you've got the power with one hand to take someone out with one punch. As long as you don't freeze up, of course, and don't do it. Think, "Oh, I'm going to kill this bloke," bang, you've been hit, you see. So we have a number of training, and the worst thing of all is to come into a class and the teacher says, "Okay, you fight him, you fight him, you fight him, and you fight him, go." Oh, shit, I don't want to fight anyone. And that's a level you'll stay at forevermore if you go to a class like that. That's what happens to, you know, a lot of the Kyokushin people, the world's strongest karate. The first thing they're handed with is a book of rules where you're not allowed to strike. And that's why a lot of people get decked in the street. As soon as they get their black belt, they say, "Oh, I'm pretty good. I won that tournament last week by kicking a bloke in the thigh 25 times. Goes into the street, bang, he's out on his back, you know, knocked out straight away. Because you're not allowed to punch to the face. You're only allowed to punch this area here, you see, and kick. You're not allowed to kick the side of the knee. You're only allowed to kick to here. So that's the worst thing you can do in a class situation. You have to build